Hey, good morning. I got a tip and trick for you. It is I don't know how well known it is, but I figured this out with the aid of some people when I worked at Raytheon Aircraft on the production line for the Hawker 800 XP. The gal that I worked with showed me this, and I kind of took it to a different level. I've met a couple other mechanics that know how to do it and have used this trick with a different version. So let me show you what I got. So what you see here, this is a piece of baffling, and then this is a piece of plastic, and this is a piece of the same plastic here. But basically, if you're putting structure together and you got a couple pieces of metal and they have a little bit of gap and you want to pull that nice and tight together, you can do what's called a drive draw, where you will drive the rivet just a little bit to swell it, and then you put the bucking bar beside the shank of the rivet, and then you draw it a little bit with a little tapping from the rivet gun, and that'll pull the metal together fairly close. But in some instances, you can't get it close enough to do it. Or if you have a hole that you don't want to oversize, and it's good through most of the structure, but let's say a stringer or a frame, and it's like one rivet and it has kind of a mucked up hole on the inside, you can put aluminum washer over the rivet, and if you try to shoot the rivet with the washer on there, the washer will bounce and then it'll swell in between and it won't do you any good. So what you want to do is you want to put a piece of something that will help hold everything together or pull it together. So I discovered this plastic stuff at the yard store when I was down there in Wichita, and it's really easy to poke a hole in with the drill. You can actually do it by hand too. Or you can use a piece of baffling material that you cut and you punch a hole in, usually with a hole punch. And then you're going to put that together with the rivet, so the rivet shank kind of goes in just to the top of that. Stuff's falling away. And then you're going to take your bucking bar and you're going to put that on top of it, and you're going to shoot it, and you'll hear the sound of it. And it'll kind of stop, and then you take this off and then finish it as normal, and it pulls all the structure together. You can, the plastic, what I found with the plastic is you drill your hole, whatever, if it's a 30 or a 21 or 10, and you put that over the rivet. When you shoot it, this particular plastic will compress, and then it cracks out on the hole. So you can't really drive it too far. And then it helps the bucking bar stay level with everything. And then because of this thickness of stuff, it'll pull all that together. And if you have a separation in material, that plastic or rubber will pull that together. Now, the other medium that you can use, I've seen people use, is a piece of Scotch-Brite. You just put the Scotch-Brite over and then stick the bar on top of it and shoot it, and the material of the Scotch-Brite will compress, and then it'll force the bucking bar to the shank of the rivet and then swell the rivet down and then pull all the stuff together. The other thing you can use, and this is what I started out with, was a really thin piece of lead that was, about that thick, I guess, 1/16 to a 3/32 maybe, I don't know. And then you just put the lead, same deal, put the lead over the shank of the rivet, put your bucking bar on top of it, and then as you drive the rivet, the lead will move away, and it will put some material in between the bar and the end of the rivet, and then compress all that sheet together to make a nice tight seal. Because what'll happen is if you have that gapiosis in between the sheets and you go to drive it without the drive draw or anything in there, then you'll have a non-shear condition where the rivet will swell in between the sheets, and the sheets won't get pulled together to make a strong bond. So you want to make sure that those sheets get pulled together super tight, and then the rivet, the shop tail, the shop head or the bucktail will get formed around the hole and then hold that all together. So that's the whole thing of it, is that you compress all that sheet together. So using a piece of baffling material, punch a hole in it, use a piece of plastic. I've used in an emergency that I had one of those yellow scrapers for like Bondo. I drilled a hole in that and used that, and that worked okay. I really like this stuff, but I'm getting low on the sheet that I had. It was about a 2x2 piece of plastic, and I think I'm down to about a 6-inch by 8-inch piece now because I've used it over the years. But anyway, that's the trick of the day. Super easy to do, super simple. I always like to try to keep a piece of this stuff in my riveting box, and then that way when I run into an issue, I can use it. So anyway, whatever you're doing today, hope it's good. Happy Monday. Cheers. God bless.